Is there any limitations? Obviously, you lost your hair as an adult. What about somebody who loses their hair as a child?
Yeah, that's the sad part. When kids lose their hair, well, little kids are actually pretty cool about it usually. It's mostly the parents and the grandparents that are freaking out. But little kids the tough age is teenagers, because that's the age when you don't want to go to school if you have a zit on your nose, much less losing your hair entirely. But we usually don't recommend that little kids get these. Little kids don't care about wearing hair. But once you've reached school age, 7, 8, 9, I wouldn't encourage it for anyone younger than, say, 6.
Okay.
And even then, that's pushing it. But if they really, really want to wear it, and if the child has to leave you, then we do specialized. Well, obviously, the style is going to be really important. You don't want hair that's poofy on a child.
Right.
So we implant the hair very flat. We use children's soft hair to do it. And the cap is going to fit them as well as it fits, me. The difference is, see, they're going to grow.
Okay.
And you can make the inside cap larger one time. And then,
no kidding.
Yeah, because it stretches a little. But eventually, it's just the head's going to be larger to the point where they're going to have a new one, because there's not enough area to cover the child's
So that means probably every 2 years.
Pretty much. If you're, you could pretty much count on that. Until, girls pretty much reach their adult head size somewhere around 13, 14 years old. But you can check with your pediatrician.
That's young.
Stuff like that, yeah.
And then, of course, when we talk about replacing wigs, I think the obvious question is, how expensive are they?
Yeah, well, that's everybody's big question. They start, ours from this manufacturer start at $26.95 for 4 inches of hair. So with 4 inches, you can do a lot of short, cute do's. And then it goes up a couple $100 every 2 inches of length. And then when you get into the longer lengths, it goes up more. By the time you're at a 12-inch length down to here, touching your shoulders, it would be about $36.95. That's $3,695.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it any more expensive for, ethnic hair or different colors or anything like that?
No, it's not more expensive. The only thing that changes the price is the length. And that was a good question now about ethnics, because, you don't need this, but I have a lot of clients that have darker skin, and they are going to want to make sure that their scalp matches their own skin tone. And we have 6 different colors of scalps that we can do to pretty much match anybody's skin tone.
Okay.
And there are different textures of hair that we can get as well, if somebody would prefer a coarser texture or, whatever.
And it doesn't look like, I don't see your scalp. You'd think they would show, but I don't notice it on you at all.
Well, you'll see it and obviously if I part my hair, you can see scalp. But
I would never know. That looks just like I would expect mine to look.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would.
First thing I would have to do if I were to get a prosthesis, how do I get one that fits my head?
Glad you asked that one too. First thing, we used to have to do these wet, sort of messy plaster molds. They were accurate, but it was easy to, if you were taking one off, you could warp it in the process, whatever. They work great. But now, the manufacturer has come up with this. It's a technology that exists already for doing other types of prosthetics, like an arm or a leg. It's a laser scanning technology. And we have our own proprietary software that we use. And you sit in a chair in the middle of a room, and I draw the hairline that we designed for you on your head with a little Maybelline pencil. And then I use my scanner, and I walk around you, do maybe 6 or 8 sweeps. You can watch it develop on my computer screens in 3D, and then I email that to the factory. They then use that to route out a mold of your head that's so accurate. It's you with every little lump and bump in your head. And it doesn't matter what your head size is, doesn't matter if it's small, big, large, whatever, odd shaped, doesn't matter, because the scanner does a perfect replica.
So now, it sounds like you are bringing your laptop and the scanner with you.
I do. I travel with it.
Okay.
Yeah. The scanner, it fits in a suitcase. It's a bit of a pain to get through airports with it, but it's doable. And I travel the whole east coast of the U.S., and I even go to Canada, and I've actually even got somebody, because I speak Spanish, I've actually got somebody that wants me to go to Mexico, so I'm waiting to hear from her. So
Oh, darn.
she's going to line up a few
In the
other
middle of
people.
the New England winter.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
know. I was
terrible.
kind of hoping it would be now. So yeah.
And then if once somebody does have a prosthesis, if they have further questions or issues, do they contact you directly?
Yeah, I give everybody my 800 number, which rings at home in my office, 800-486-1653, and anytime, as long as it's not like midnight, I'm always around, and I always get back to people really quickly if I'm not here when they call. But if you buy a prosthetic from me for this reason, you and I are going to be in a relationship for the next umpteen years, because you're going to be calling me for help, advice, updates, a new one at some point, when you need a repair.
Right, so unless my
Yeah.
hair were to suddenly grow back, we'd really end up having a relationship over many years.
Yeah.
Where this kind of, we evolve together.
I've actually got a bunch of clients that I'm really friends with. It's been such a long time. I've got a young girl that when I met her, she was 16, and she's now married and having her baby, and it's all gone to graduate school. They become real acquaintances, in some cases, really friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's such a very personal thing that I'm doing. I mean, I'm giving you a look that you're going to present to the world.
Right.
So, yeah, it's.
Well, I think overall the entire process is actually much more personalized, really, than I realized, and than I think that most people realize.
It is, and if you don't, if I'm not the person that would do it for you, because I have colleagues in other parts of the country, and I would put you in touch with them because I stay to my little section of the East Coast, but this is not something that you have to get from me necessarily, but there are some other really great ladies.
And you have a website that has all these resources on it.
Yes, I do. www.fuller-hair.com. That's it.
Great. Well, that answered a lot of questions that honestly I don't even think I knew I had as many questions as were answered, so I feel like I have a much better understanding.
That's great. And you know where I am. And anytime you want to ask a question, I'm here.
Hopefully I won't need you.
I know. Yeah. Hopefully you won't, Val.
Well, thanks a million.
You're welcome.